Oh, hello, BBC. Hey, Anba. I'm in the barber right now getting my hair cut. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Hope the haircut goes well. Anything in particular you're going for? Also, hi. こんにちはかな。こんにちは。まだこんにちは。4時ってまだこんにちはですね。よしよしよしよし。ちょっといろいろチェックしないといけないですね。これってどうやってまあいいや。助けて。声とか聞こえますかね。大丈夫かな。 Can you hear me? あ、聞こえたよ。こんにちは。今日はですね、ちょっと久々に絵描きしようかなと思っていて、Voice Clear, thank you. ありがとう。ありがとう。今日ね、久々にちょっと絵描きしたいなと思って、ちょっとだけ落ち着いた配信をしようかなと思います。普段も落ち着いてるけどね。うん。なので、本日もよろしくお願いします。ちょっとすごいごちゃごちゃなんやけど、普段もごちゃごちゃなんやけど、今日はですね、ちょっと昼寝しちゃって先ほど起きたよなので、自業自得です。はい。これをどこ、リンク、こうかな。はい。はい。はい。はい。はい。ここにシェア、そこにシェアできました。Voice Clear。ね。なので、今日はもうマジで 100%、2000% 落ち着いて配信して、絵描いて、で、それに付き合いたい人が、ラジオでも、ポッドキャストっぽくても、この配信を使っていただいたらなと思います。では、just getting my hair short. trimming ね。I think I have to go for, I usually go for trim at the end of the month. That's usually my trimming moment. I should show you something. ね、これちょっと見せようかな。今ね。Sneak peek is something I've been working on. It's the first time. I've always liked those kind of animation thingies where you animate people moving and whatever. And I got like a little scene from a stream I did, a collaboration stream with Ku before, where we were playing a date with death at her channel. There's a little bit of collaboration. And during that stream, there are certain sections that were kind of fun or funny or would be fun to animate. So it's like, well, I've never really done that before, so why not now? Let's try to learn how to do this. でこの前ちょっと、くーちゃんと、ほぼ英語やったけど、A Date with Death っていうゲーム。死神とデートみたいなゲームがあるんですけどね。多分フリーゲームですね。Steam のストアにあるゲームなんやけど、一緒にゲームやってる間に、ちょこっとしたシーンが、なんかアニメーションしたら楽しそうかなって、楽しそうですねと思って、で、アニメーションは実際に作ったことがなくて、なので、これをちょっと見せたいな。これもほんまにラフですよ。ドラフトなんかな。でもラフでも結構なんか面白くて、ちょっと見せようかな。はい。Tell me if you can hear the sound, by the way, because I don't know if we'll capture that. It should capture that. I heard something. Let me check. Yeah, it works.
Wait, you're not already dead?
Why would you assume I'm dead?
Well, I just thought since you represent death and stuff.
My heart beats in my chest. I believe that is proof I am alive.
I feel that heartbeat at the beat of the drum. Thank you.
And it might be a starting card or an ending card or something. So I was like playing around with a few ideas of that. Context-wise, it's not much, but it's just like, okay, learning how to kind of think of the right expressions. It's cute. It's kind of fun, isn't it? I've really never done that before. So you just take an audio clip basically and just draw a little bit really loosely around it. And because Ku's a shrimp, they're literally a shrimp. But I also made like this little card for myself, like in my head, Ku can be human, but also shrimp, so I gave them like a little shrimp over here to hold. Maybe I'll do the starting card and end card. And in this particular stream, I'm a little bit more of the straight man, so I get like a nice suit. And Ku can be the wilding one. And maybe a little explanation of the situation during the stream. They look bald. They are bald. Oh, the shrimp is gonna be bald. There's no hair on the shrimp. もうエビってハゲとるんじゃん。それは普通。I look very bald. So, I did like... Wait, can I find this layer? I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna make them look like. Let's see if it's... Yeah, it's this layer. So I was trying to draw some things out, see for sizes. So Anba's gonna be less bald later, hopefully. Kind of in this style, maybe? Like, I need to be able to have a style that is fast enough so I don't die trying to make animations multiple panels because it's my first time. But also something fun that still is in my style, you know? So this seems like a good, I think, compromise. Is what I was doing before. But I don't think I'm gonna be working on that one today, I just wanted to show it. But today it's just gonna be some free drawing, as I do usually. Also, this canvas is way too wide for me. So we're gonna do something about that first. Heading home, I'll be back. Okay, okay, okay. Have a safe trip home. ね、うちはこれを書き続けようかな。まずは後ろを白に。あんまり色が激しいとなんか目には良くないって聞いて。実際には目が痛くなったことはないけど、とりあえずはこういう風にして、もうほんまに何してんのか自分わからなくて、とりあえずみんなが言うてることに従うっていうスタンスですね。で、間違った。ここやなくて、ここなのかな。うん。なんで、ちょっと間違ってる気がする。ああペーパーね。ペーパー。かなもうちょっと違う色。まあ、これでいいや。一旦、ちょっと落ち着いた色にしないといけないと思います。これもいいか。落ち着いてないな。普段はこちら側はちょっとグレーよりが好ましいかなと思います。で、続いては、まあ、ちょっと自由にスケッチ。で、一応ほんまに描きとかあまり、まあやったりとかするけど、そんなにわからないから、自分が一番心地いい感じで描くというと、普段は、なんか、オンラインとかタブレットでより、なんか、普通に紙とペンで書くことが好きなんですね。紙、ペン、色鉛筆、あと何やったっけ、オイルパステル。なんていうのあれクレヨンっていうのかな、まあ、それっぽいのと、で、そのアナログで描くのが一番好きなんやけど、なんでそれをちょっと再現した感じで、あとマーカーね、こういうでかいなんかこう、ハイライト、そういうマーカーを使ってスケッチを描こうかなと。で、今日特にちょっと面白そうと思っていたのは、なんていうのか。ポーズの練習なんですね。クロッキーかな、クロッキーに近いジェスチャードローイングって言うんだけど、英語で。ジェスチャーを描く。そういうサイトがあるねんけど、quickposes.com。まあ、ほぼ英語になってるけど結構使いやすいね。あれを使ってちょっと、ジェスチャーを練習しよう。で、ジェスチャーで大事なのはおそらく、素早く何かを表現することなんですね。なので正しくとかではなくじゃあ聞いたことがありますなのでジェスチャーを書いて頑張っていこうかな。まずウォーミングアップとして Oh my god てか うん。スクリーンシェアしないでよかったです。結構、ちょっと衝撃的なイメージも結構ありますよね。まあいいや。あまりそういうのを考えないで書くだけです。書くだけです。みんなのご想像にお任せします。はい、次。わあ。っていうか、これアニメーションファイルなの？ポーズ。アニメーションいらないな。今日は、アニメーションいらないな。はい。Boys be ambitious. で、はい。じゃしんじゃしんじゃしんじゃ。あ、早い早い早い。Oh my god. セルフィードキドキなドキのくんろ。わあ、ぐっちゃぐっちゃねこれ。で、結構なんかそういう動画、ジェスチャーとかクロッキーとかの動画を見るときにはなんか早い時間設定とかできるよね。なんか20秒とか20秒から始まるか15秒とか20秒から始まって、でだんだんと時間を遅くするっていう。で何を練習するのかっていうと、そのできるだけ詳細とかを考えないで、ただただ、動きを書く、動きのラインとかを書くっていうことを理解しました。でそういったような練習が結構好きなので、やろうかなって。ほら、こんな感じで書いてるんやけど、ある程度なんか何が書かれてるのかがわかるのかなっていう、考えでは、手がここにあるだと、ここには死ぬんじゃねえぞ。うわあ。面白いね、なんか。で、ライン、背中のラインが。ここかな。ああ。で、周りにしようかな。 わたららららららら。あとでこの中の一つを絵にしようかな。Oh my god! いやいやいや。すっごい時間失ってる今。あいやいや。どれないわ。結構むずい。モデルとかの選択肢にも結構いろいろあるんですよね。なんかもうちょっとフィギュアが曖昧とフィギュアがはっきりしてるようなモデルの違いって結構ありますよね。曖昧のも面白いけどね。わお。2、1、2、3。でないやいや。で取らないな。こういう曖昧なポーズがすごい苦手ですね。なぜか。なんか目に映らないっていうと変な説明の仕方があんまり。わお。なんかすごいはっきりしたポーズだとやっぱり形がはっきりしてるから、こうかなってなっちゃうね。でも好きやな、こういうのも。もうちょっと上か。で、こうして、ここに足が来るかな。いやいやいや、この愛は、よし。Freddy Krueger.また向こう、全然いいこともないしね。見てみようか。腕を取るのなんじゃから。一緒にここで。わあ。泣き出そうかじゃないから言わなかったってホップでスップで踊ろうか世界の海これをちょっとそうになる週末感を楽しんで週末感を楽しんでるんかい楽しいよこれもぐるぐるりいい匂いわあ お、できた。20枚ぐらいポーズ。あ、まだか。18枚か。18枚くらいポーズを書いてて。こいつはちょっといいかな。この動きの中の一つをちょっと選択してこねて何かにしようかな。これ結構好き。なんか踊ってる感があるよね。こいつはちょっと曖昧すぎてよく集中できなかったね。これ結構いい。うん。これも結構いいっすね。わあ、なんかアイディアが把握してるのかどうかっていうのが一番大事ですね。だから他人がどう考えてもどうもこうも考えても一番大事なのは自分が分かってるのかどうかっていうところね。これは曖昧すぎてあんまり好きはない。でもまあ、体重がどこに向かってるのか分かるけど、いい。こいつも結構好き。踊りみたいな。よいしょ。ジュースを飲もう。だない夢見てね、最近新しいの追加したからこれをちょっと使ってみようかな。よし、見やすい。いいっすね。なんか最近は前はなかった気がするけど、このメカニクルなんか CS クリスタにもう自動的にっていうかもともと入ってるペンシルの中、まあ鉛筆の中でペンシルがあるけどメカニカルペンスと英語で言うねんけど、普通の鉛筆とメカニカル鉛筆シャープペンかながなんか、まあこいつは映ってるかな。シャープの方は全く映ってない気がする。How you doing? Hi, Voy. I'm doing well. How are you? I'm just hanging around doing some gesture drawing, so it's nothing too intense. But I thought I could do gesture drawings and then make some sort of drawing or what do you call that? Finish? Well, not finish, but like a sketch out of these gestures. So nothing too intense, but I'm having a good weekend, you know. Sometimes you don't want to do intense stuff, you just want to chill. Doing good, grateful for the weekend. Yeah, man. See, I love weekends. I've been having these talks recently where I told a friend of mine that I'm quite a boring person. If you leave me alone during the weekend, this is what I'm doing all day. Just now I'm talking because I'm in stream and I kind of felt like it, but I'd just not be talking. And like in entire days, unless if I'm singing, you know, and for the rest my voice is not used, I'll just be there and spend time drawing or reading, like kind of boring stuff. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah. You know, I'm starting to, this is my philosophy, okay? But I truly low-key believe that it's almost of importance to have that. To kind of, it's like kind of almost punk. Maybe that's just how I like to think about myself. I think it's almost punk to not always do intense stuff. You know what I mean? Like kind of counterculture, because everything is so intense all the time. It's always like, oh, you gotta capture attention and you gotta, I don't know, make a content market economy out of your hobbies. Everything has to like have a meaning or like be something to show off. And I've been thinking about it for a while, that it annoys me. That's one thing, because I came on the internet to be a boring person, technically. Like just do my own little hobby things. Which happened to be singing at the time, right? But that's what I came on the internet for, so it annoys me greatly that now there is this push to kind of control how you enjoy your hobbies. Whilst it used to be just really a choice thing in the past. Suddenly I'm jumping into this, but that's stuff I've been thinking about, how it's been greatly annoying me, where I'm just like... Maybe I'm just because I'm old. I guess if you're younger, that's just what the internet is to you, right? But I'm very much... I came online around the time period when this was a place where the judgment was less, actually. And sometimes not very nice people, maybe? Or not always the best people, but you knew that when you came online. You're kind of like, alright, I'm gonna avoid that. Like kind of the critical thinking to avoid people you don't like kind of thing. Well, this is kind of a cute pose. Can make like kind of a... Like the fingers like this, maybe laced into each other. Like they're almost doing like a sort of stretch. Oops. Sorry, I'm like doing the like 24th at the same time. Oh, I like this. Okay, anyway. Nothing wrong with that. Hey. Okay, Ame Yadori at Family Mart suddenly raining so hard. Yeah. Right, think I get what you mean. No need to always try to monetize your hobbies and optimize your time 24/7. Don't have an old person in your book, I'm 24. Anybody who is younger than me... Look, I'm ancient though. Like, let's take it like this. You will always be a peanut to me. Most of you will be peanut to me. Which I don't know if that calms you down, but if I'm complaining about my old people stuff, then you can choose whether you want it to apply to you or not. Yeah, I think if you're like in your mid-20s, you're kind of at the... Like if we say generational, probably at the cusp of my generation. Like there's stuff we probably had in common, but you're definitely also from the time where you saw the internet come up as a place where you could kind of... I wouldn't say escape, but... find like, I don't know, people who share your hobby and I don't know. Maybe I'm just idealizing it too, you know, it wasn't perfect. But that's what I've been thinking about, kind of massively annoyed about that. So I like it to be a bit counterculture and to I wouldn't say purposely do boring shit, but purposely just be like, I don't want to perform. You know, if I end up being a bit more energetic, that's just because that's the way it is, but... I'm also very good just sitting here in complete silence. Like, trying to be comfortable with that too, in a weird way. Because, like, I wouldn't be annoyed if I wasn't affected at all, you know? But I'm kind of affected by it. Like, the thing too, for example, I have this uncle, right? And he is quite a business person. So he's quite successful in that regard. And, you know, he's a great guy, by the way. I'm like, no issues with him. He's not like a multimillionaire. But he did really well for himself, working his way up, and just a very smart person, let's say it like that. So successful in his own right. And he came to visit Japan, everything. But what sometimes strikes me is that, on one hand, he likes to hear about what I do online stuff, right? Like, I'm at this age, and I already came out that I'm a Youtaite or whatever. Because most people don't care, you know. They're like, oh, okay, cool. I don't really know what manga is, but I hope you're enjoying yourself. Oh, you like to sing? That's great, you know, and that's it. I think most people haven't heard me sing live in my family or anywhere except for my parents, poor parents. But my uncle, he's heard some of the song stuff because he asked for it, right? So I'm like, oh, I can share that. And he liked it a lot, which I'm happy about. He likes music things, festivals, all those things. But he keeps giving me like this feeling where he's just like, so when is this going to be lucrative? Like, he's also just generally happy that I'm happy with it, but he's like, so when is the time you put in there, the effort you put in there, and, you know, when we have music discussions, he really likes what I'm on about and whatever, and I like what he's on about, he's got good taste, but it's just like, that impatience towards me, like, almost disappointment when I'm like, yeah, no, I don't really have plans, I'm sorry, like, maybe someday, but it's not an urgency for me per se. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit... privilege in that I can do this as a hobby, you know? Because I also think there's some people who become successful or, you know, who strive for it because they can't keep it as a hobby. Like, it's going to be a job or it's going to be nothing. So it's just different kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. And I'm not mad at my uncle or anything, but it's been on my mind where I'm just like, where does this thinking come from that it has to be... And then I'm like, I go online where I'm just like, you know, want to hang out. And I get this sentiment it gets echoed again by other people, you know, online. I see it echoed where people are to each other like that, low-key or not low-key, like, oh, you should make a video out of that, or you should make, I don't know, why don't you make a stream out of that, or why don't you make an entire song and a PV and upload all of that? And don't get me wrong, I would love to. I had infinite budget. I would be doing that all the time because I love doing those things. But not because you said so, you know? And if you know, this is a dream. It would be a dream to be able to earn from this, do this 24/7, get all the, you know, lessons for it, become better at it. All those kinds of things would be great, but... Oh, this is actually looking quite good. Sorry. But that's not for everybody, you know? It's not about just whether you enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff now that... Yeah, you can't keep up things without consistently playing into algorithm things. It's hard work is what I'm saying. And maybe I'm just a little bit lazy. I don't know. Like I said before, I like my quiet time. I like to also be boring. Makes me feel calmer too when people know that I'm also a very boring person. So it's like, yeah. No imposter syndrome. Just different mindset, I guess. Yeah, not knowing manga as well. It's kind of wild. You would think like in the year of 2026 everybody would know what it is, but... Boonies, Belgium, mate. If you live far enough in the boonies, in the west, and people just go about their life... Like, they vaguely know that it has something to do with Pokemon or whatever, but they're not too... It's not really a thing, I guess, for my areas. I don't think I ever saw the internet as a huge community, more like a huge and unorganized sea of knowledge and stuff to do. Yeah, you're right. It's like now everything seems to be in one community center and one, like almost one culture, weirdly enough. But before it was like... So it could be so separated. Like if I go on this website, the people on this website will never know of the existence of people on the other website. And it could be like kind of similar bloggy site or something else, but they would never interact. But you as a viewer could choose to interact to both and kind of, you know, like a big buffet with different kind of meals. And now I feel we're all getting like the same set, you know, on a menu, like the same set of things. Some variety in it, but overall the same set. Whilst before you could get tapas, you know. If that makes any sense. And I miss the tapas era. I miss the tapas era on the internet. Hey, don't beat yourself up. Your songs are cool. I like what I do, kind of things. I really do, like, I think that's the pressure though that I feel. I feel kind of guilty that it's not more. But at the same time, if I honestly wanted to go for it, why don't I? There's a reason for that too. It's not just... You know, I haven't never... There's something about it. I can't put my finger on it. So I'm still trying to figure out what that is. But there's something about it where I'm like, But yeah, so for as long as it's forgiven for me to do this, I just want to something be boring and do some drawing. Or do something like, I don't know, I like reading. I wish I could do that in stream, but then you can't because the books are copyrighted. I would spend just a lot of reading streams. I'm rereading, what's it called? Crime and Punishment recently. Tsumi Tobatsu. Not to brag, I have to reread it because I read it the first time and kind of skipped over things I didn't understand. So I'm reading it one more time and I'm actually marking words I don't get in English and whatever. So I do that. That is literally fun for me. It's sat and emotion, turn the page, read, didn't get that, read it one more time, mark it, look it up in a dictionary. That's what it means. Get excited about that. I feel smarter. It's all for me. The smartness never comes out in streams or in conversation though. People will never know that I know this new word. But I know. It's like that meme of that dude in the club who's standing in the corner. They'll never know I learned a new word today. Like, it's not show off stuff, you know. Oh no. But it's true that older people generally have a hard time understanding that what hobby is, I think. Yeah, older people and younger people too, I feel. The people that grew up with vloggers just being around. Like, that was not like, when I came first online, that was not a thing. Or barely a thing. It was like a niche in a niche. Like, a few people did that. And then it became bigger, and I think from there on there was also around the parallel time, like gaming. Game videos getting more popular, but and then live streaming came up, but I wasn't around the game streaming community, so I'm not sure how that evolution went. But I feel at some point it started to connect with vlogging and streaming and other things, which, you know, all fine by me. But that's the thing, is like I saw the evolution, so for me it's still kind of like I've seen a world without all of that. And I'm not saying that one is ideal. I love that we can share so many things right now. I really liked vlogging, for example. Had a lot of fun with that. And I learned a lot from it too, I feel. I learned English from it, but also culturally. Because, you know, you could look at vlogs of people in different worlds. Even now you can still do that. In different parts of the world. And kind of learn their jokes, or what they're into, or what they dislike, you know. So that's still all there. It's not gone away. I'm not trying to say that. But because the overarching way to get more attention, to get more people to praise you, and therefore for people in real life and everywhere else to be interested in what you have to say and do, you would have to play it kind of by the rules of, I guess, the algorithms at the time. I don't know what to blame. The algorithms, maybe. Attention span. All those things. Especially now after COVID has really bled into general society, I guess. It feels more pressure, because you're also seen by people in real life. It's not just you doing your experimental stuff on the internet anymore. Are my thoughts. You feel free to contradict or tell me yours, because I'm pretty sure everybody has kind of their thoughts on these things. Now, they on that grind set hustle culture, Anba. We are big chilling. I mean, I admire it. That's, you know, I really do admire it. But it's kind of difficult if you're like, well, I guess not now, or like, you know, like, but I also just want my space where I can actually be a bit boring. Like, talk for a very long time on my interests without it being like something to show off. Of course, I still consume those things. I think it's great that people make it, but yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. It's also a bit the call comes from within the house, you know? It's not just blaming it on the environment. It's for sure also how you feel about it yourself, so... Don't want people to feel like... Or, I don't want to say that... I am without sin in the scenarios. Yeah, the algorithm is definitely also luck. That's for sure, BBC. There's a lot of luck involved. And also the rules of the platform, which is very interesting. When it comes, for example, to YouTube, and it comes to Twitch and TikTok and all this kind of things. Depending on the terms of service agreements of the platform itself, you're gonna have a bit of a different way people will utilize it. For example, there's recently on Twitter, I don't know if people are still here on Twitter. I advise you not to be on it for too much. I've been on it for a bit too much recently, but I'm literally just retweeting Holostar stuff because I felt guilty about the Holostar thing. Anyway, all of that aside, there's a recent development, for example, on Twitter where there's automatic translations. And I didn't notice it first, I was just weirded out by the feature. But it basically makes it that if you see a tweet of a different language than the one that you set or that you're using the most or whatever, or whatever region they think you're in, it's going to automatically translate it. And I think it's a horrid idea to do. Of course, I think you can turn it off still, I hope. I haven't really looked at it yet, but I'm just gonna assume you can turn it off. It would be weird if that's forever. But I think it's a horrible, horrible feature. One of the reasons for that is because, obviously, if you're going to look at tweets, and they automatically translate, right? And I think it's done via an AI or something, right? What older machine translation systems would do is it doesn't necessarily generate, right? It goes by a certain formula and tries to rearrange words, translate it via dictionary. It's a bit more rigid. In those cases, you're going to see that is machine translated. Think old Google Translate and whatever. So you'll know 100% it's machine translated, and you'll know that there will be gaps in understanding. You'll assume there's gaps in understanding. But when you are using something like an AI, it's not only going to do all of that, but it's also going to arrange it in a way that the sentence feels almost natural, right? So you won't notice there is something wrong. Which means that you're just going to take whatever got translated at face value. And that is an issue. You're not going to see the awkwardness. That's a big, big time issue. especially when things go across cultures. For example, idioms, right? You can say, don't look a gifted horse in the mouth. I don't know if that's always going to make any sense in a different culture. In a different culture, it could even be insulting to say anything about horses to another person, you know? So I'm making it a bit extreme because obviously we've internationalized a bit more, and if we're doing like America versus the world, America's probably going to come out a little bit more understood than the rest of the world because English is such a big language and media. But if they're doing it for a culture like Flemish culture and I say like a random culture in Africa or Arab, we would have these gaps too because the AI isn't trained hard enough in our languages. There's not enough resources. I notice that in Dutch a lot. When I look anything up in Dutch internet is not much to you can't use it much. Like if I look anything up, most information I would have to look up in English to have like a bit more in-depth understanding that I'm craving for, or I have to go to the library, which is fine by me, but that's Dutch, right? So the translations aren't very on point. Then if you did it with another minor language, it's going to basically use another language to go through. Like with machine translations as well. It used to, for example, if you have English, which is like the main, one of the main languages that you have stuff that has a lot of resources. Most resources, probably English and Spanish and Chinese or something. English, Chinese probably should be okay-ish, depending how much contact these cultures have. English, Dutch should be fine, and German, because these are already quite close in formulae and culturally. But if it's, for example, something like Dutch, and I don't know, like I said, like some random African language, right? What will happen is that if the African language has more contact with English, it will first go to African whatever thing to English, and then from English to Dutch, like this. It won't do a direct thing. It will do this kind of thing. With this in between, you're just going to mess things up. The other way around as well. And then let alone idioms and all those kinds of things. I really, really dislike it. Aside from the fact that you're not allowing people to get into contact with other languages, whether you understand it or not, it's good to see them. It's a lot about recognition too and familiarity. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Plus, I also think if you are following somebody who like from before, who uses a certain language, doesn't that mean you're comfortable with seeing that? Like either you understand it or you're studying it, or you're just okay with not understanding it, with just seeing the content. Maybe I'm just what do you call, anti Tower of Babel. Yeah, I feel it's kind of this situation right now. Not to be all like religious about it, but as an example. Anyway, yeah. Those are things I don't like. And the reason why I'm bringing this up now with this entire talk about like TikTok and all those platforms changing things for us in real life is that it's already noticeable that TikTok influences language, right? What I am worried about too is a second point, aside from being misunderstood and not coming into contact with different cultures and languages, is that, or not even recognizing that you're coming in contact with them. You're basically put in this comfortable bubble in the world as if there are no other cultures. As if, you know what I mean? Like as if, yeah, I hate it. And then the fact that it will influence your own language, how we speak to each other. Because if we notice online that our translations are wonky or could be misunderstood, we might start to make our communication sound more like... It already does that for people who use AI, but more and more like AI. And even if you don't use AI, you could still be affected by it if you're not using ChatGPT, because you might come to more and more people, in contact with more and more people who use it to communicate with. And who literally are also using it to analyze what you're saying to them. Which means that you'll have to change the way you approach communication, because these people are used to a different type of communication. So anyway, I'm like blurbing out. I will read, feel free to responses or throw in like, I don't know. You can throw in like the little sparkling banana if I need to read something immediately to what I'm saying. So I'm not like just going to a different track or thought. Let's go up there. Yeah, exactly. And a somewhat unrelated note about every culture and interest merge into one place. My life has never been better since I installed Instagram. Uninstalled Instagram. Oh, you uninstalled Instagram. Oh my god, I almost want to like throw you a celebratory little clap. Yeah, I still have Instagram. There's like There's some reasons why I have it on still. But I have this rule. Like, I do comments, but I really have this rule these days. I sometimes have to catch myself. Where I'm just like, do not comment on anything negative. Like, the moment sometimes I do it, I sit there and I type out this long-ass bloody reply explaining something or just being a little bit upset about somebody being rude or, like, unreasonable. But once I see myself writing a block of text that is not positive or trying to berate somebody or control the conversation, I just take a deep breath and immediately delete it. If I have nothing nice to say, I don't want to say anything at all on that app. It doesn't deserve my opinions. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a little bit arrogant way of thinking, but that made my life a little bit better. Going on social media and just being like, actually, it's not even about, why do I need to be in this conversation? Why do I need to join this? You know what I mean? Like, if I had an inkling of an idea that it would be efficient to talk to people via social media about certain topics, especially topics that I find important, then I might. But because most of the time it's not as efficient and it's just kind of killing my energy, I don't. Especially if I see the people I am reactive to are usually people who seem more unreasonable. Like, why then all the more the reason to leave it be and just go about my day. You know? Like, I can also see a lot of other people reacting to it. If I see a lot of other people reacting to it, all the more reason for me to stay out of it. They've got it. They're probably way more eloquent than I am at it, or they have more time in their hands or energy to do it. That's what I'm going to assume. If you're going to interact with these sort of posts, you must have the energy to do it. And I don't. I find myself depleted when I'm trying to. So anyway, that's all to say. Congrats on getting away from Instagram. This is what I mean. It's kind of rebellious to, I don't know, do boring streams sometimes. Like, just drawing. No fancy model, no fancy bim bam boom. Just chatting, drawing, or doing something like deleting a big social media app. I find it rebellious. Maybe I'm putting too much on it, but it seems to be very difficult for a lot of people, so I find it noteworthy. Was there a specific reason why you deleted it? Or why you got off it? Oh no, LMAO. Wait, wasn't English your first language? No, my first language is Flemish Dutch. So it's sort of Dutch. Like, you have English, right? You have like British English and whatever. And mine is Flemish Dutch. First language. And technically, the second language should be French, but in reality, my second language is most certainly English. And then third would be Japanese / kind of French. Probably understand more French than Japanese, but I speak better Japanese, so that's the weird paradox. And then a little bit of German, which I understand, but cannot speak very well at all, actually. So yes, a mix of languages. But that's all the more reason why people like me want to be exposed. It's because of being exposed to so many. That at least, like, for example, German, I can't speak it for the life of me, but I at least understand it because of consistent exposure. Not hiding away from it. Which I think serves me well. It makes my world a little bit brighter. It makes it easier to understand other people, where they're coming from. If I know where they're thinking from. Like the start of their... Anyway. I don't like it. I really don't like the translation feature on Twitter. I think it's bullshit. Okay, I'm at home. Welcome back home, BBC. It's nice that you got back home safely. F Reddit. Does that auto-translation shit too? I hate it. It's awful. C, yeah, thank you. I hate it. It's awful. I got banned on X. Right, BBC. What's the story behind that? I saw. Why did you get banned on X? What happened? If you can say that, of course. Watch out what you say on the internet, by the way. It's not because it's me here and a few other people that... And that usually there are not a lot of people that you can't be in trouble, so... In as far as vague as you can word it. To paint a picture what happened. I do find it very funny, though. Yeah, it's great at pretending to make sense, right? AI. Love libraries. I could understand a bit. Yeah, libraries are great. I love them even more now. I think it's quite counterculture to read, weirdly enough. Like, I've never really stopped. So, it's weird thing for me to say, but it's kind of counterculture again to read. Counterculture to do things that are against the usual culture, I guess, so. But people have been reading more, I think, or maybe that's again an algorithm illusion I'm getting. because the things I do watch are often to do with books and reading. Yeah, if you ever saw like my actual interest and stuff, I'm not always conscious of the things I watch because I'm just watching them, you know, I don't think about it too much. But when I like tell my other friends or something like, oh, what have you been into lately? Have this what I've been into, I'm starting to realize how boring I am. Like the things I talk about with friends are usually a bit different because I select the information, you know. I'm like, oh, this is what they're also gonna like to hear about and have some 2 cents about. So there's some parts of me that I don't get to talk about as much. Used to be able to do that online, but I guess there's still communities out there though. I've been finding them recently, which is a lot of fun. I still got Instagram to buy stuff. It's cheapest sometimes. That's an interesting evolution too. I know my mum bought something from via something from Instagram before I even know that that was like a full-on feature. I only saw it like a spam. I don't really think of it as actually something you could buy from, but seems the links are legit. I hope the things you got you're satisfied with. And having a good deal is nice. Never touch Reels. I spent way too much time on Reels. Yeah, it just keeps scrolling. YouTube has a thing too, but the good thing about YouTube, at least on a computer especially, is that it's kind of shite. Like, at least for me. Maybe it's because my computer is old, or my internet isn't... No, my internet is great. My computer is old. It stutters and stuff, or YouTube doesn't connect well and just stutters, and that's when I know, like, yeah, actually I don't care. I do still like YouTube somewhat, despite all its bullshit. Because at the end of the day, it's also kind of what sort of information you select. And there are such good shows on here still. Which is always... And good content creators too. But it's really just a matter of whether they're going to be able to continue to get the... I guess the resources to be able to do things at the quality they do it at. But... I'm happy with still having my YouTube account and everything. I hope they won't F it up too much. I don't know if they're ever gonna get better from it, I hope, but... Yeah, I've been on this place for so long by now, like... And I still do the same shit! There's so many new features, and I'm not doing anything different from so many years ago, so as long as I can do that... Yeah, then I'm happy. Plus, I do like the fact, like, especially on YouTube, if you go streams or like a video, that's kind of more... not in the, we call it in the standing vertical videos. Vertical ones are like scrollable, right? Those are kind of next, and shorts and go and go. The horizontal ones, I like them. You can put them on full screen and then you're actually immersed in the content. I'm not as distracted when I put them on full screen. Having like your screen kind of filled, seeing the comments under it, it still feels like a little subsection, a little community in a community. Like, I can be on a video but not know much about the rest of the creators live of whatever they're doing, but this one video is what I'm into, and then I can interact in the comment section only about this video. I liked it a lot. It would have been cool to have a feature like Nikodora, where you can see the comments pass by in real time to see it react in certain timings of the video, but that's my opinion. But for the rest, I like it. It makes you pause a little bit on one topic instead of being everywhere. But it depends how you use it. You know, if you're using it and at the same time, like you open a video and you're already looking at the recommendation tab, you can do that, but it does make you more exhausted, I find. It's not as, you know, efficient to the content, is what I think. And I also find a lot of joy in doing slow content or watching slow content, consuming slow content. Like sitting somewhere and sometimes being a little bit bored with the content because the payoff is great. If you can trust the creator or kind of like what they do, there will be a payoff eventually. So. I gave up on Japanese. I'm sorry, Anba. You gave up on Japanese? But you seem to understand a lot of it, or using some kind of function too. Yeah. I think with languages, there's like no speed or to hit a certain goal. I think you can do it any time. So for me, it's like as long as you don't actually give up, as long as you expose yourself to the language somehow or the other, be it my streams or other people's streams that you like to watch that speak Japanese or watch anime or whatever, as long as you stay in touch with the language, there's always time and space to pick it back up. So don't worry about that. That's a lot of language. Impressive. Yeah, that was not the brag per se. I mean, you're Europeans, right? Like, especially like something if you live in Switzerland or Belgium. Technically, if you go through education and stay exposed to the language, you're gonna have at least 3 languages in your repertoire. It's not about my specific efforts or whatever. It's just that happens in the country. And then if you like other languages, like myself, I really like languages, then yes, you're gonna continue. I don't know if I like languages. I like culture. I like the idea of connection a lot. I mean, that's why I'm on the internet. That's why I like to speak to people still. I really love the idea of connection, of learning new things, of being surprised, of knowing that things can be taken a very different way. Like things that aren't considered impressive in your own culture can be very impressive in another culture, or the other way around, which makes me feel calm. I think that's a very strong thing about it. Oh, I like that. Maybe a blue. I used to... Real talk. I used to when I was younger, because there's going to be a bit of background information. But I was born in India. All right, if you look at the wiki, you'll know that I was born in India, so not around Belgium, these areas. I was adopted at some point. And there's a lot of things that I had, I wouldn't say issues with, but were difficult for me to understand, to know, to kind of process. Sometimes people were kind of mean to me. Sometimes they weren't mean to me per se, but it hit different for me than for them. You know, like they didn't mean to say anything mean, but it was back in the day, old time days. People weren't as aware about stuff. Internet wasn't connecting the entire world yet, so. And by knowing that, like, there's places in the world that do think like me, where that's actually the norm, where, you know, my way of thinking could be the norm, or I don't know, like, or maybe they disagree with things too, or whatever, really. Like, I felt like, okay, current place might not understand certain things, but I'm not alone in the world with these thoughts or this way of thinking or these values, or I don't know, or places where just being yourself can be accepted. And I found that online a lot too. So I find that, I don't know, maybe I'm over dramatizing it, but I really do not like that automatic translation feature, as you can hear. I hate the idea of erasing other cultures so much. Hey, Blackie! Hey, yo, folks, I don't see a cow. That's false advertisement. Wait. Let me draw you a cow. I forgot I put that. I was like, I need to draw, and I didn't have like any particular drawings I wanted to put on the front, so I put the cow. How are you doing? Sorry, it's kind of a low-key stream today, so it's just me ranting a little bit about things and just kind of being a bit boring and slow about it and drawing. That's all. But I hope you enjoyed anyway. I did some gesture drawings before you came in. And then from the gesture drawings, I'm trying to... trying to create illustrations. That's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. Doing good, a bit sick. You been sick? A cold or something? Are you okay? Hope you'll feel better soon. I think you said in the previous stream too that you weren't feeling that well. I hope you'll feel better soon. X thought... Oh, this is why you were banned, huh? I X thought I'm a minor on Australia who needs ID. How did X think that? Were you were you sharing too many Blue's Clues videos or something? Never stop reading AO Free. Yeah. Reading is good for you. I also recommend reading a book, short stories or something too. There's something about it. If you don't, you don't have to, but there's something about it. But I can say, now playing a little bit more video games, because that was not my bread and butter, but somebody else's, that video games can do that too, depending what kind of video game you play. I do find some agreement that there I think if you go through the story really and give yourself the patience and whatever, then there's something to it. Oh, I like this pose. We're gonna play with this one. I have extensions on my web browser and a cracked YouTube Premium on my phone. It hides ads, skips sponsor segments, and best of all, it hides shorts. Best thing ever. Now that is smart. Holy shit. I think Voy already left. Good talk, but I really gotta go. Have a good stream, Anba. Okay, good day, Voy. But also, if you ever see this one back or whatever, let me know. What is the extension? I have ad block and stuff to keep, at least on my computer, to keep the ads off. But also, I think that there's something about the revenue of the creator. So sometimes I turn it back on if I'm just having it in the background or something, and I'm like, yeah, I want to sponsor this creator somehow. My YouTube algorithm is full of indie animators. Bless. Mine too. No, okay. Mine is indie animators, book introduction and book review and book analysis ones. These sort of essayist ones. Podcasts in Japanese and in English, which I enjoy a lot. Comedy. I really like Josh Johnson. I like, what's it called? Gianmarco at times as well. Like those kinds of... They're probably very popular ones, but I like to have a good laugh sometimes. Japanese owarai, so comedy in Japan. There's a lot of stuff. Old things. Vocaloid, of course. A lot of music. Art ones, which is like illustrations, like manga illustrations, but also art ones that are... they give like the story behind classical art pieces, which is really fun. Like, I know it sounds... Again, I'm boring, but it's fun to watch. And sometimes they can be very dramatic stories. Like, I know people talk about Van Gogh a lot, about like with his ear thing or whatever, but artists have very interesting stories. Like, even if the art itself, the piece itself is like, yeah, whatever. The backstory of like, this was, by the way, drawn at the same time when he cheated on his wife's friend's brother, who then took a gun or whatever. So that's fun. Yeah, I was aiming for N3 to follow my friend to work in Japan, but I got eye issues, so my motivation is down for now. Maybe one day I lock in. Listening practice, BBC. There's a lot of Nihongo no Mori, for example, is a channel that shows content especially good for grammar. Well, with your ears you can get used to the grammar instead of just reading it. I like it. It helped me a lot. It just introduces all the little grammar patterns you have. You just put the N3 one, N3 grammar one on and listen if watching is a bit difficult. But I wish you luck for it, really. I think you can get N3. It's a tricky one though, but you're definitely beyond N5, I think. As far as I see you understand my stream sometimes. Yeah, get well soon, mate. It's bad season. It's Poland season, everything. Right, the cold creeped in rather slowly. Went to a dinner with my colleagues, and next morning I was toast. Thanks, you too. Oh man, it goes fast though, right? It goes so fast. Last time I got sick, I felt like my throat is a little bit sore, and the next day I'm gone. Fever, everything. Your algo is the exact same, Anba. Eee! Mostly torch. Oh, Hansha, sorry, I heard Anba. Thanks, you too, no problemo. Is the same. Mostly tortured stories, I'd assume. Some of them are not tortured. There's the very heartwarming ones as well. Like, there's poetry I like a lot too, by the way, so I put that under literature, but for example, poets, and then you have pieces that you think are already very beautiful, but then it starts to explain kind of in what point of their time, and I think there was one recently where they told the story about this person... it wasn't a poem, sorry, it was about a comic. Maybe you know the comic. It's something called Something Mouse. It's an old graphic novel that is from way back when. Like, when I was younger, I know it was out. And it got it got a Pulitzer Prize or something like that. Like a really, really esteemed graphic novel. And it's written, you know, with mice and whatever. But it is basically talking about the Second World War. And it's about the artists themselves are basically talking about the story of their father. So their father went through a lot during the World War. But they were very, how do you say that, very inventive, very sly even. Very strategic and stuff to survive the World War. So, you know, kind of big brain is what he did. That did. in contrast, his mother at the time was very kind. Like, this is weird to say, but just very giving, kind, generous, all those things, compared to his father, who was more like on the offense. The mom was just trying to connect as much as she could with the community, to the point that the women in her community protected her, which is like an interesting contrast of survival tactics, right? And I think the father at some point or the other passed away. And then the mother lived until, I don't know when she lived. She also passed away at some point. But the artist had a very long time that he resented his mother a lot. Maybe because she went about it in a more peaceful, forgiving way. I'm not too sure about the entire World War thing. But there was a lot of resentment in that. And towards his father, some form of admiration or something else. But by drawing out that comic, they could kind of process through the entire thing. And I think the story was it like around the end or whatever of having finished that comic or having a second comic, he was able to kind of come more to terms with her, with what she had done and why she went about it the way she did. I don't know. I think it's heartwarming how art can do that. So there's a lot of heartwarming stories as well. It's not just all doom and gloom. Some can be very tortured back in the day, but it's also because the arts, like, you can say like artists are tortured people, but it's also the other way around. The system wasn't very rewarding for artists, you know. You had to be like some rich person's pet before anybody would even give a shit about you. But to be a good artist back in the day, you had to be a little bit local crazy for it. You had to not be able to live without anything else, because it was not even now, but back then also, it was not a job you could earn from. It wasn't you're gonna make big money at all. It was a choice of like, I'm going to live the rest of my life struggling and not getting my shit together just so I can do this because I need this. Because therapy ain't existing in this time period or something. Yeah, I think it's called Mouse, actually. You're right. It's literally just called Mouse. Can I shoot you a Discord MP with the links to the extensions maybe? Oh yeah, you can do that. That would be great. Feel free to. Thank you. Like, whether you do it in the server or a personal message or whatever. I don't know if it's going to arrive or whatever. I'll have a look at it. If it doesn't, then I'll probably find a way to speak to you. I don't know how these things work, but it would be nice to have that extension or know about it at the very least, because it sounds very handy if it's like an all-in-one kind of thing. Also, the BGM is gone. It's called A Vocaloid Edgy Playlist for You. Okay. Let's see. This one might actually kick me off the internet because of how... What's this? Songs to feel corrupt and rotten. Great. We're in that mood right now. Corrupt and rotten, okay? We're in edgy times. That's nice, at least, albeit bittersweet with its background. Very nice to hear. Haven't processed mine myself. Your struggles with World War II BBC. Guys! Yo! What a rotten time to be alive. Yada yada, what a rotten time to be alive. Well, we have struggles with our form of an economic cold warfare, whatever the fuck is going on right now. Like, I know as an online whatever content creator, whatever, it isn't very a good idea to talk about politics, but also I'm just AnbaLen on the internet, you know? Like, before I was anything else, I'm just AnbaLen on the internet. And I can say these things. I am so sick. This is me processing, okay? This is my art. This stream. Yapping is my art. Guys, I'm so sick of it. Sick of the current... What the fuck is going on? Anyway, maybe I should also make big arts to process it. We got tortured Anba today, yes! Tortured Anba today. Yada yada. What a difficult world for an otaku like myself. It makes stuff expensive in the practical because, no, you don't want to know about... That's not you don't want to know about. You can't just torture yourself with all the details all the time, but yeah. Let's just say that I am not going to go into that. It's not my bread and butter, but I am going into my feelings about it, and I'm so bloody annoyed. Like, annoyed and tired and And we need to stop all this shit. Seriously. Anyway. Tortured feelings. This. Maybe I can make her like kind of in the middle of a dance, whoever I'm drawing. Anyway. Oh, maybe her hair's to the back more. I'm guessing it's like going... I should probably have her head a bit more forward and the eyes a bit more forward as well. I know what I'm doing! Trust the process. Alright, anyway, here's a cow. Yeah, I don't have the knowledge. Like, I started it and then in the middle I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm as annoyed by all of this and I'm in the audience seat in a way. Like, I don't want any of this. This is annoying. So, this and that. Well, you can have her like kind of... Is she... Ooh, she's falling. Girl, don't fall! Are you okay? Are you okay? She's not okay. It's because I'm listening to tortured music that she's falling. I'm torturing her too. Oh, I don't know what this one was anymore. This one was interesting. I liked this one too. I like this one. I like the fact that it's kind of... Wait, I'm gonna do this. I like the hand sticking out. You could almost do something European comic-y to it, you know, like with the fingers that they do. Where it's like kind of spread out fingers. Maybe old-timey cartoony. I like that it goes to this way and that we have like kind of this movement. Maybe I can make a gentleman out of it with the suit. Pretty sure I can. And this one leg is also very fun. Any weddings recently? Weddings? No weddings, but I watched Hamilton recently with some friends. There was a wedding in there. I cried, man. Oh my god, I'm so late with shit too. Finally I watched Hamilton. I had some friends of mine, we should have like movie time. We did movie time. It's like, okay, what should we watch? But I had to go to bed because time zone differences. And they decided for me, as I was off snoozing. And when I came back, they decided on Hamilton, so we watched Hamilton, finally. I was able to watch it. That was really fun. I cried at it though. They did such a good job. I know it's like sort of based on history, but I'm just taking it as a work of fiction because I'm not sure. We later on like sped through the Wikipedia to kind of be like, what's true and what isn't. And I have to tell you though, because I was so into Hamilton and the characters, when we went into Wikipedia and I saw that the pictures were like white people, I was like, huh? Like, not my Hamilton. I like the musical better. But it was very informative, to be honest. There's lots of names and things I know vaguely about. And I have to say mostly from like reading, but not really, you know, deep studying it or something. We must have studied some parts about it in world history in school, but I don't think we ever had to learn about all the US presidents or something like that. We did it more like en gros, like in general kind of in school. Where it's like, oh yeah, these people exist and this is kind of their system. But it was mostly like compare it to Europe or something like that, right? Because obviously our context is going to be different and the curriculum is going to be different. So that was interesting to kind of finally, I guess, learn a little bit more about all of that. Had fun with it. So Hamilton was great. I recommend it. Greatly recommend it. Yeah, let's make a gentleman out of it. It's kind of could actually be more even to the right, to here. Ooh, maybe I gotta put him up a little bit. Sorry, my dude. I put you down a little bit too much. I'm gonna give you some form of shoes, so you're not on naked feet. Something like this. You can have your knee a little bit bent. I think your leg should be a little bit longer. Any weddings recently? No weddings. I don't think so. I did get a message this morning from one of my teachers I had before, who invited me to like a recital or something. She's gonna do like a singing recital. Like my teacher basically, I had a teacher, and she, I think after a few months was like, I can't be your teacher anymore because the pregnancy. I didn't know there was a pregnancy, but apparently she was gonna go in labor soon. So I'm like, oh. I didn't know. She never told me, and I didn't, you know, I'm not looking at them like that, so I'm like, oh my god, you're pregnant? And now she popped up and she's like, yeah, anyway, I have a recital, you want to come? I'm like, okay. I kind of was happy with it though, that she still contacted me. I think because usually you're just kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna be a teacher anymore, bye, and you block each other, or, you know, I don't know, delete each other from the app, because she's kind of from an organization thing. But I left her quite a long message because she was so kind with me, and I think I learned quite a lot of things from her in the short span that she was teaching me. So I said all that in a pretty long message of appreciation, and I think she really liked that, because she was all like, maybe it could have also been the pregnancy hormones, but she was like, oh my god, thank you. And then later on, now, actually today-ish, I saw the message. She was like, when it comes to my recital, I'm like, girl, I'm not friends with you like that, but sure. I'll consider it. But evidently I'm not going to a recital because it is today. I'm sorry. I appreciate you inviting me, but I've got a lesson this evening around the time the recital is there with my other teacher, so I can't cheat on my current teacher for my ex-teacher, you know? Oh, that's sweet teacher, very sweet. You go up to her and go, I had no idea you were pregnant. I always thought you were just no. I didn't think that even. No, 100%. I had no idea. But as in, like, you couldn't see it. You don't know. What the fuck? Well, that will prevent her from inviting me to any future recitals, I'm sure. What the fuck? Wow. I'm reeling with how rude that is, bro. Nah, she's sweet. 2 birds, 1 stone, yeah. That's one way to be like, leave me alone. Nah, she was super sweet about it. It was just a bit sudden, so I couldn't go today. But it's nice of her to invite, you know? Then I think to myself, oh, you know, you wouldn't invite somebody you don't like at all, right? To your recital, so... Or maybe she's getting as many customers as possible, I don't know. I'm just gonna choose that she would be happy if I were there at least, or... Thinks I'm chill enough for that. I think more wishful thinking will make me happy. Yeah, let's see, what are we gonna do with this person? What time is it right now? 17:36. I think I'm probably gonna end the stream in about half an hour? Yes. And I have done about 2 hours, right? No, have I? No, I lied. When did I start? Like about a bit 15 past 4 or something? Yeah. Not because I'm not having a good time, but I'm kind of like, maybe I want to nap a little bit before my lesson, because I interrupted my nap to do the stream. Or rather, I wasn't able to really do a proper nap, so I'm like, My teacher's gonna be like, why are you not paying attention? I don't know if I want him to be like a gentleman or a lady. That can be a lady gentleman. A gentle lady. But I think short hair would be better to be bombastic over here. Anyway, that's an idea. I think this is also a pretty good idea. This is a pretty good idea. It's kind of a... Oh, I'm seeing like a priesty Buddhist in here. I think that would be fun. Like some of these have very... like the original poses are kind of different thoughts in there, but... Oh, that would be cool. Like he's like kind of sitting in... What do you call that? Cross-legged. Oh, and then... hold up. Then we can have him hold something over here. No, like... He can be... holding... Shh, you know? Evil character, plotting. Or at least plotting, maybe not evil. Like a plotting dude, you know? Hair can go back. It's the edgy music. It's putting me in my edgy time. Gentlewoman, quite famous brand of bag there. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Probably slick back hair, but it's just the idea of it. I can work on it later if I want to. He's like thinking about something because he's a plotting guy. Right? Can you see the vision? Am I stupid? Like you can see it, right? Well, most important is I see it if I'm going to like work on it, but it would be cool. Hell yeah. Maybe my eyes blurry, but yeah. I'm having the bloody hospital in my stream today. What the hell? Everybody okay? One person is just straight up sick. The other body is like unable to see. Not much of a monk anymore, though. That's true. I can still make him bald. We're all just tortured. Yeah, all from... I'm mentally tortured. Like, I have ennui. Yare, yare. He's like a monk that's kind of... What do you call that? You can't trust this monk. Might have put this a little bit lower. Oh, actually, it's lower. Oops. Man, vocal music is so good. Why do I like to make smug characters so much? We're tortured, so now there's a monk. Here we go. Immediately comes to like make fun of us. Like, oh, what? You're tortured. Oh, how must that feel? Yeah, let me help you out a little bit if you're tortured. Heard that more torturing even more suffering even more will find you nirvana eventually. He definitely looks like he calls us peasants. Yeah. Hey, for all my shenanigans, I have never called you guys peasants, so I've got that going for me. No, wait, have I? Actually, I think the monks have like at least some going on, I think. I don't know actually if they have any hair. Anyway, Mr. Bald. You probably have, don't lie. I don't know. You guys are there for most... You guys would know. If any of you both know, then I'll put my hands down. I'll be like, yeah, sure. I trust that. I trust your memory more than me. You're my external memory. Nah, I don't remember. But affectionate. Not yet. I should get into that. I should get onto that, right? If I'm gonna do the prince gig, if I'm a prince, then if I'm royalty, I should be calling you guys peasants. Why haven't I done that yet? Regrets. Reflections. My memory's utter crap, so I can't tell. Fuck. Then we're all... No! You have to have the good memories. So one of us needs to. I gotta find somebody with good memory to come in this stream regularly, so we're not just all lost sheep relying on illusions. My memory sucks. I need Ginkgo biloba. Oh no. We are in so much trouble. Wait, how does this work? It's like, oh, it's to the outside. Whoops. So what? Like this? So actually... Yeah, okay, this makes more sense. And then this would be the other fingers that can go down. Oh my god. It's hard to turn images in your mind, okay? It's still maybe up. These are in the back and he's holding it like this, and I don't know because I've never smoked a Middle Ages 12th century Heian pipe or whatever before, so I should have to look that up. Pipe thing. Look up. Look up, look down. I don't know if they hold it like this. Assumptions! Woohoo! Whatever. There we go. Untrustworthy. He needs hair. I'm sorry. I'm like, I know monks should be bald and everything, but he can have a little bit of hair. There, he's from a certain faction that's allowed hair. Monks got hair. Some of them do, right? And the general image of like sort of more a Buddhist monk is without hair, right? Like with the orange sashes and stuff. But this guy is of a fantasy faction, fantasy monk. More like a late 1800s salesman than a monk. That works though, because that's his character now. Okay. So he goes as a monk, but you can see from him, you're like, you know, like this kind of guys are, I wouldn't say sleazy, but you know that, you just know they're up to like scamming you with bullshit. Good job, everybody. This one. See, I like to pose as in like, the gesture came out well, but I don't like to pose and as in like, what the hell was I looking at? But it's fine, we can do something with it. Let's see. Maybe even better to have it go to this side. And this. I want to give her actually as much fabric as possible over here, because it's fun. Now we're looking at like when was Don Juan exactly? What time period was it again? Supposedly set or written or whatever. I'm thinking like Don Juan kind of character-ish. I don't like to draw ass. But sometimes it's important to draw it. For the pose. Good Don Juan lady.
And my sister just gives me that weird surreal love to see the world again. To see the world again.
This one's... I'm not gonna work through this one, but it's okay. At least I work through the pose, that's most important. Like the 1700s? Yeah, I'm like not sure. I know it's... I don't think it's the 1800s, but a bit before that, right? Because I'm thinking of like those poofy kind of... like what she's wearing, like the poofy kind of shirts. Like isn't like Italian almost feeling? He's not Italian probably, like Spanish Italian kind of fits. We can bring him back, our sleazy monk. If you put your hand down, do the kiss, and he's holding her hand over here. Because sleazy ass, don't trust him. Don't trust him, lady! It's not a good idea! He's not out to help you. Or even worse. Oh, what are they doing here? I'd say even worse. It's like somebody's bloody grave or whatever that they're at. Like flowers coming out. Let's make like a tragic imagery, right? And he's like the betrayer who probably done them in. Sword. A kind of Romeo Juliet area, maybe. 1700s. 1600s. I'm thinking Shakespeare. 1600s, 1700s. I always try to like... what do you call that? Orientate myself according to fictional characters I know or whatever. Or people. Because I'm not good with numbers. But as long as I equate a certain person I like or I'm interested in to a certain number, a certain era, then I can kind of have an image pops up immediately of what the people are going to be like or whatever. So when I think of the 1825 to like 19, early 1900s, like 1908 or 19 whatever, I'm thinking of the period of Impressionism. I'm thinking of Monet because he was born in, I think, he died in 1925, I think. That he was born in 18, don't know when, 1800 whatever. Then I know kind of it's the ladies with the parasols and whatever. When I think of Impressionism, that's going to be the 1800s to the early 1900s, very early 1900s. And then after 1900s, we're getting kind of into the World War II phases, which is a bit easier to imagine because that's what half our schooling was about. And then before that, the 1700s would be... 1600s, 1700s would be William Shakespeare era. And then before that, 1500s, 1400s, 1500s, also probably, but Middle Ages. That's like literally the Middle Ages. We're thinking about War of Roses or something, all those kinds of things. The old castles, poop on the streets, 1400s, 1500s. Then the 1300s, 1200s, also kind of like that, and the Crusades around the 1200s. Because when I think of the 1200s, I think back when German language, actually, Dutch language, maybe a few others over there, were a bit mixed in a language called Dietz around the 1200s. So that was that. Before that, 1100s, don't really know. 12, 11, 12, I don't really know in Europe, but I know in Japan that was the Heian era. Which was like cultural... oh my god, it's so mixed up with me. I have like several lines in my head that are kind of jumbled because 1800 something is also in the Meiji era and the Meiji era ended, ended. So that's when the samurai were around. Anyway. Japanese history stream next. Let me do that actually. I did learn it. So I might as well do a history stream where we can put them together. Like European versus Japanese. So you always... Because I think that's helpful. Like if we've learned European history or something. Or kind of Western history, I guess. To then know what also is happening in Japan to put it like in a timeline. And sometimes it gives surprising results. Like, technology-wise, like, I think 1900s was, like, Industrial Revolution, right? Because I think that's also late 1800s or something is when Commodore Perry sent out them boats to Japan to be like, hey, open up! So, steamboats. So that's gonna be Industrial Revolution. And I know around the 1900s was Dr. Daans and all this kind of things, which is a story about this monk in Belgium who truly existed, and about child labor and all this corruption, all this kinds of things. If you ever have the chance to look that film up, I think there's subs for it as well. Yeah, why not? If I'm gonna be, like... If I'm gonna be boring, I might as well be educational, you know? Yeah. This one is like a medieval story about this lady whose husband died or something. He's right here. Gerald. Lord Gerald, I don't know what his name is. Her husband died, and because there was nobody to take over the duties of the house, she did. Because there's no son or something. But that also means she's got all the, I guess, power and all the resources of her house. And this guy wants to steal it. Because he is a corrupt bastard. Sure, it could be interesting. I think it would be fun. Ooh, a ghost. I guess she died. It would be fun if she dies. That would not be fun, but like, it would be a fun story if she did die. Fantasy Rise, okay? But decides or like her sister or something, or the previous person that this guy scammed became a ghost. I have a vision, okay? She became a ghost and goes over to the other lady to warn her, and together with this ghost lady, they're gonna start this revenge plot against this monk. I think that would be fun. To deceive him, because he's deceiving everybody, like all his victims. To deceive him and to cause for his downfall so he can never make new victims again. Hey, I am pacifist in real life, okay? In fiction, that's a different story, but I'm very pacifistic in real life. If you have to take the choice between supporting somebody or being, you know, kind of acquaintances / friends, whatever we are, with somebody who chooses to let it all go in fiction, or somebody who is like, nah, I think I will do all of that in real life, I think the one in fiction is preferable. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. So this is the ghost. Maybe she even has like, you know, the wedding veil on, like one of those ghosts. I'm giving her more like straight hair because that would be fun. No bangs. Yeah, it's gonna be the ghost lady that our main girl befriends somehow. And who's going to be like, dude, that guy has done everything. Poison, scamming, all these kinds of things. He's not trustworthy. He pretends he's a monk, but then there's all these kinds of things behind your back. And he likely killed your husband too. So, we are going to do revenge. Luigi about the... Maybe her name could be something like that for the lady. Maybe... What is like the female version of Luigi? Does anybody know? Because usually male names have like female versions to them, right? Like either from the same origin or something. Luigi... Louise or something. Sounds well enough. Louise. Louise at the grave. Well then, if she's Louise, he has to be Gerard. Apparently we're in France. Gerard or... Why would a G, Anba? Why would a G? Godot. According to Nintendo, it's Daisy. Louisa. Louisa. Yeah, it's like Louise, Louisa, Louise. Yeah. And this guy, I still don't have a name. If anybody has like an idea for the monk's name. We have the ghost lady, she can have a name too. The ghost lady is kind of like something that I think ends with an A would be good. With an S, because there's a ghost, and ghost, I think of ghosts, I think like wispy things. So like S sounds and S sounds, H sounds, kind of disappearing sounds, and it would be nice. So when this story is over, she's gone. No. See, something S, something S. I don't know who this is, a gremlin, later. Gremlin. Opening something. Monk. Luisa. Luigiska. Luisa works too, yeah, you're right. Luigina exists apparently. Luigina? Is it just me or sounds it a little bit forced? Like, I don't know anybody Luigina. I don't hate it though, like I'm still thinking about it. Luigina. Well, would it be a fun plot if her husband actually also kind of had been relying on this monk before? So either the monk effed over both her and her husband, or he was in the cahoots with the husband, but the husband didn't think it would go this far, or something. Ri-chan. the dub version. I thought you'd go for died again. I mean, the husband already died, so we can't really... People die when they get killed, you know? So there's like... And he, weirdly enough, didn't become a ghost. Don't know why. I think our Luigina is a special by monk based. Well, the monk just wants to scam. He doesn't give a shit about the gender, whatever. Whatever's effective. He's beyond that. He's like, I've read so much philosophy. I genuinely don't care about the mortal world. Nothing's real. Gender isn't real. And all I want is money and power. Money and power. They do. My mind is blown. We learn something every single day on this channel. I told you it's educational over here. Like, let him carry something like a weapon. Whether, oh my god, that's like death. That's like Shinigami. Whatever. He can kind of go with that for now. Like the scene where he's like very pissed off. She's kind of like, Luigina, whatever, listen to me. Just come over here. I swear I have a surprise for you. I swear it's not a bad thing. Ego the Grim Reaper, my Alton. No way. Yes, because he's not trustworthy, this guy. The thing is, though, he doesn't... I guess, like, because there's ghosts and stuff, there is a form of magic in this world, but this guy doesn't use any of that. At first they thought he had, like, some pact with a demon or something, but no. Sometimes people are actually horrible. And crafty at being horrible. So, if anything, at least I can say he does, like, analog murder. No tools for it, no AI, I kill by myself. He's like, welcome to my show, where I kill people. But at least I do it for a reason. For power. Is that a reason? When you're that cunning, you don't need magic help, right? Like, at first would think so, because like, why is there no traces? How come we're never able to trace? Like, we know, literally so many people, there's like several maybe victims or adjacent victims who know it's him. Or at least have a very good inkling. But they cannot catch him. And there's like multiple ways to trap people into thinking that they're powerless. They are not actually. But he tricks them into thinking they're powerless, and especially tricks them into thinking they're isolated in their issue. And that's where kind of his power comes from. He understands people really well. He just doesn't give a shit. Just genuinely doesn't give a shit. I understand the emotions, or rather, I don't know if it's empathy for sure. At least maybe it's empathy, sympathy that he does have. He can read people's emotions, he understands them, but he just doesn't care. You know, it's like, sometimes you see people, like, it's like the thing of, like, if you're watching a video, and you see somebody you don't know, and you don't really care about, and maybe you might even kind of dislike, like, say, for example, that orange, the orange bastard, that orange miscarriage brain that's been walking around this planet has been, like, devastating it and his entire team. Say that guy, like, from today to tomorrow, straight on video, hit the curb. I would, personally, in a way, conceptually feel bad, because that's an old, demented guy falling to the ground, right? But I also really don't care. So I understand the pain, I understand conceptually it's not a good thing. If it was anybody else, I'd probably like, oof, oh, hope they're okay. But I don't care about this guy, you know? So, despite not being a full psychopath and understanding the pain, I also don't care. I think this guy's kind of similar, where he's either disillusioned with the world or just never really cared for it enough. So maybe that is psychopathic, I can't tell. But he just doesn't care for it. And then in his sense, it's a little bit even a few steps further and worse, in that he actively sometimes causes that pain. Not just watches or witnesses it, but causes it in order to get what he wants. I don't understand yet why he wants that power, though. Like, what's he gonna do with it? And the power of people. I think that's quite important. I'm gonna have this entire monk faction over here. City. people standing around. Can't escape, dude. Might even be like a knight or something. Because all she has is the ghost's knowledge. But it's a little bit limited, and this guy has people and power and knows them too well. Still trying to figure out what kind of shampoo he represents. He can be somber shampoo. You know, like kind of incense scented shampoo. But he needs like a hint of something sour in there, like something stupidly or bitter under an undertone. Maybe even musk. I'm not a huge fan of musk scent, to be honest. Some people like it. I don't really. I know they put it a lot in like men's perfumes and sometimes women's as well because they're like, that's gonna make you more sexy. And I'm like, I don't like the scent of it. Maybe it's a temperature thing, but it just reminds me of stables and horses and cows, which is fine. I don't mind, but it's not stinking. But I'm just like, I don't think it's a great on a person. Horse shampoo. My girlfriend feels sad though when seeing bad news. And yeah, we gotta take it out. We're gonna do escapism a little bit. You know, we gotta live. It doesn't mean not be informed, but it does mean take some breaks and come up with stories and escape and escape and escape. Like in this story. Would be fun though. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna tie it into the shampoo story. That would be fun. They have like their kind of subplot and my villain comes around. And he's like, I'm a villain, but I'm not like you a villain. Fun. Wow. You evolved to become very unlikable. I like it. Isn't this from Omori? Or maybe this is Louise at some point dancing with the guy. Or with one of his henchmen. Or with the ghost. Maybe she can dance with the ghost lady. Wouldn't that be fun? I'm gonna give the ghost lady like a higher waisted one so she can have a low waisted dress. For differentiation and silhouettes and other things would be fun. They both have long hair, so it's gonna be sometimes harder to differentiate. They're having a good time. Maybe this is from this side. Let's see if it's this one. Anyway. You mean a soap plot? Yes, you need soap in your shampoo. Magical girl boy anime. Oh my god, even though you're sick, you're quite on fire. Or maybe I'm just tired. I need a nap. I think we're all very debuffed today. But even if we are debuffed, we can still hang out sometimes, you know? But I gotta go. Despite it all. It's been fun though. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna call it Monkery. Monkery Business. Monkery Business. Save. There we go. Nice notes today. Yeah. Okay. The music is going hard. Before I leave, because I'm so ready to just F off. This thing, I wanted to show to Blackie too. Maybe you'll enjoy it once I finish it and upload it. But you can see the roughs of it. The very rough parts. The draft, as you can say, the idea is down. Nap music, that was not nap music. It's a scene of myself and Ku from the... You were there in the stream, but I don't know if you remember what the part is from. But we're like reading things out from the Death Date game, basically.
Wow. Wait. You're not already dead?
This early 2000 ass animation of me.
Well, I just thought since you represent death and stuff.
My heart beats in my chest. I believe that is proof I am alive.
I feel that heartbeat at the beat of the drum. Thank you. Wow.
I think it's cute enough. Oh my god, stop.
Wait.
So that's something else. But I gotta warm up more, draw more, so I'll be able to execute this idea. I love that. I think it's kind of cute, right? We could put it up somewhere. Make it a short. Oh my god. Or if I can make several of them, I can actually make a video of it. That might actually be nicer. I'm definitely more of a video person. Should video of it. Maybe with some scenes or parts from the stream with subs or something. So it's easy to watch back if you want like a little what do you call that? Fun atmosphere kicker. Because it makes me happy to look back on these things, you know? It's like a photo album for me, so... Anyway, thank you very much for joining in this low-key, kind of serious, kind of, I don't know if it was boring. I thought it was very interesting, but, you know, low-key, we're all debuffed stream. I'm very happy that you guys were able to join today, so I wasn't all by myself, but I still got to just chill out. So, thank you very much for that. See you next time with hopefully more energy, hopefully Blackie feeling better, hopefully, BBC got his vision back and everything. Thank you very much. Bye and bye and bye. Otsamba was fun. See you. Bye.